quick wins topic here at Raising Real Estate Standards. It kind of goes in line with a lot of stuff that we've talked about, geared around the sphere of influence and your client database and your people, and making sure that they're in your world and they're going to be referring you and sending you business. Want to talk about a segment of our people today, and that segment is the advocates. And so, Brian, define for everybody how we determine what an advocate is.
Well, so first of all, I think when we talk about your sphere of influence and the strategies you're using within your sphere of influence, you're trying to create advocates. Yeah. But an advocate's going to be someone you've most of the time it's going to be someone you've already served, and you've served at a high level, and that they're so happy with the service that you provided them that they're willing to refer you out to all of their people that are looking for the same service. Okay. Yep. So in our case, you're a real estate agent. You've helped somebody buy or sell a house, and you've just brought the experience to a heightened state for this person that they're willing to go out and be like, Mark, if you don't use Brian as your real estate agent, you're crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. So this person is the mouthpiece. It's your megaphone. It is, to be honest with you, it is your sales force, right, out in the community. And it's important to segment your sphere of influence and acknowledge who these current people are. Yes, we're trying to build more of them, but I want to talk about how you can really dig in for these folks and those that have risen to the top to be your advocates. What do you do to keep them your advocates, and not only keeping your advocates, keep yourself top of mind, and making sure that they continue that effort? Because let's just be honest, I have seen it a number of times where $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 incomes are built upon 15, 20 advocates in the community. It doesn't take many to build a massive business in this business, in the real estate business, on a few advocates that are out in the community.
Yeah, it's all about intentionality, because the first thing you want to do is if you haven't done this already, you want to identify who they are. So if your sphere is 250 people, 300 people, you can't spend all your time with all these people. You don't have enough time to do that. And you really want to be building these relationships with the ones that are going to give you the best return back. Let's just be honest. And first thing you need to do is identify who have already given you some referrals, because they're wired to do that. Not everybody is wired to just be like, oh, Mark's talking about selling his house. Well, you need to talk to Brian. He's going to definitely help you. Somebody may not be that way. Some people are not wired that way. They're just like, oh, Mark's talking about selling his house. That's great.
Absolutely. Let's just be honest. Your mama or your daddy, who loves you the best, wants you to see you succeed more than anybody in the world, might be really reluctant to interject themselves into a conversation just because they're not wired that way. Right. It doesn't mean that they're not great people. Again, this is identifying who the mouthpieces are and digging in. Yep. So we've gone through our sphere. We've identified who these people are. Now what are some things that we can do to keep them engaged? What are things that we need to do? What cadences do we need to be in flow with these people?
Yeah. So again, let's say you have your sphere of 300. You want to get this down to your top advocates. I'm just going to use a number out there, maybe 20, 25.
Yeah. I'd say that'd be a lot.
That would be a lot, because again, now your goal is to deepen that relationship. You really want to focus on the relationship with this person, because again, they're going to advocate for you. They're going to push for you. They're going to push you out there in the community. And when they know of somebody looking to buy or sell, they're going to push you out there. So how do you stay in cadence with them? Well, you want to have FaceTime. You want to serve them. Yep. Okay. We talked about serving in a past episode of this. You just want to serve them completely. And again, it's not for the return. The return's going to come. You just want to serve them because because therein lies, when you go and to that extra mile and you're serving them, they're going to push you out to everybody.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing when you're working and being intentional about serving your advocates is that it's personal, not programmable.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
This is, you don't need to tell them that you're a good real estate agent. They already know.
Right.
They're already referring you. This is about literally giving back to them as much as humanly possible. Touching base with them, calling them, texting them, asking them what's going on in their world, figuring out what problems you can solve with them that, to be honest with you, are probably 1% of the time going to be real estate related.
Yep.
It's going to be all personal, all intimate, understanding of what's going on in their world, and caring and empathizing with them. Mm-hmm. Going out to coffees, just checking in on them. The FaceTime is huge. And the more FaceTime you have with your advocates, the more you're able to stay top of mind. And it's a one-on-one thing. You need to have one-on-one time with these people, because guess what, folks? They've earned it.
Right.
They've put in the efforts. They've put the if they're advocates of yours, they've put money in your pocket more than just about anything else that you've done. Yep. And they've earned your time, so give it to them.
Yep. And as we've taught this for a while now, and I've had kickback, and I'm speaking to the transactional agents out there right now, the ones that are just like, and there's no wrong way to do this business. But what I tend to get is, hey, I don't want to sound like a car salesman. And therein lies the difference. When you're out serving and you're not, hey, I'm doing this because I'm such a good agent, like you said, they already know that. You don't sound like a used car salesman at that point. But the ones that don't come at it from the standpoint of serving others, unless you look at it from that standpoint, you are going to sound that way.
Correct. Yeah, there's no doubt, and you're not going to have as many advocates out there if you come at it from that perspective.
Yep.
The cadence is important. I would argue that your advocates need to hear from you, need to have some sort of FaceTime or voice time at minimum once a month. Mm-hmm. At minimum once a month. These may be people that you talk to 3, 4, 5 times a week, but at minimum once a month to check and see how they're doing. Yeah. And they're probably going to check in on you because they're invested in you as a person. So this is not a one-way street. They're going to be, but you need to be intentional about making sure that it is not one way from their perspective.
Right.
And so adding that cadence and making sure you're intentionally staying in with those folks is very important. And then celebrating them when they do. Every single time they send you a referral, you need to celebrate that. Yep. It's never old to celebrate those things. It's never old, and it's never redundant to be appreciated.
Absolutely.
Always appreciate when they bring that stuff to you. As we gear up for a time of the year, and I'm not sure when you're watching this, but we're recording this in and around Thanksgiving time. It is really easy to do it right now, and I encourage you guys to take the time during this time of the year to do those things for your advocates, for your people. But do it every day. Yeah. Not just in November, December, but March. Whenever. Every month they need to hear from you. Yep. Super important. This is where big real estate businesses are made. And it's where real estate businesses are made that don't take a massive amount of time. You're able to provide a small amount of service, and you don't have to be out trudging the grounds trying to figure out where that next lead's coming from, because you know what? Your phone's getting ready to ring because your advocates are out selling for you. Yeah.
And I would argue you could interview the top 10% of agents in your market and ask them about their business, and 99% of them are going to say it comes from this.
100%.
And you don't realize the scalability of your business, but also just how your business can explode when you're focusing on your advocates.
And I would also say this, even those people that don't focus on their sphere of influence, 80% of their business is coming from it anyway.
Yeah.
You're just not intentionally getting as much out of your sphere as you could be if you were more intentional about pouring into your people.
Right.
So, guys, thanks again. Hope you guys have a great one.